Now, Gary said this, I said this. You want to figure out who your ideal clients are, okay? Again, right now you may be just having cases assigned to you. But start learning this. It's going to come back to you later. Who do you most want to work with? Okay, I told you from the start who I most like to work with because I'm good at it and I have a strong sense of purpose when I work with them. And what makes a person ideal, okay? What makes them ideal? I like clients who love psychology because that's what it's about. What do they have in common? They like psychology. They get the connection between psychology and business. They want to make a real difference in the world. It's not just a job. You know, it's making a difference. I know that sounds corny, but it's true. Okay, and get to know your ideal clients. What problems do they have? What personality traits do they have? My clients are really smart, talented women. A couple men, very smart people. You can survey people through conversation. Can I just ask you a few questions? I would love to have 10 more clients like you. Can I just ask you a little bit about you? Just tell me a little bit about yourself. Well, you know, what's your life like when you're not in my office? You could do an online survey, anonymous. But really, really, really important. What language do they use when they talk about their problems? What do they say when they walk in the office? If someone's tearing up or crying, what's coming out of their mouth? Write that language down. When they leave your office or when you're taking notes, scribble that on the side. Write down their exact words. Because if you see a pattern in their language, their exact words, and when next time you want to market, you want to do a brochure or the back of your business card, and you put the words "do you" in front of that, it's the most powerful marketing, and you didn't have to do a thing. So listen. Do you lay in bed awake at night because you don't know if your mother's being abused in a nursing home? Oh my gosh, yes. You almost feel like the person's like looking in your window, looking into your mind. That kind of marketing is amazing. And all it takes is listening. You don't have to read a book. Listen, just listen. And write "do you." Okay? And what do you want? What do you want? This is just basic. You know, where do your clients spend their time? What do they read? What groups do they belong to? Why do you think we need to know all this? Why do you think you want to know where they spend their time and what books they read or what magazines they read or where they hang out? Now, imagine you're in a private practice, okay? Or you're thinking of starting one and you don't want to spend 5 years getting up to speed. You want a shorter. Why do you think you want to know where they hang out? See the ladder?
That's where you want to go.
Exactly. That's where you want to be, right? You want to give a talk at those organizations. You want to maybe advertise in their magazines. It's expensive, but you may want to join those LinkedIn groups and blog about that. You want to show, you want to be there. Again, you don't want to spend a lot of time marketing. You don't want to do 20 different things. Do a few things well, consistently. I like working with women psychotherapists. So I just go and I went to one chapter of their organizationized book. I took the same talk, went to the next chapter, and so on. It's easy. The more you know about your ideal client, the easier it is to market to them, and the more you become the expert in your field, in your niche area. Okay. This is hard for people. I know this is really hard. How many of you have your own practice? Just raise your hand. Okay. Is this hard to aim your marketing at one type of client? Right. What's the fear?
Well, my practice is strictly negligence, so I only have one kind of client.
Okay. Okay, so that's easy. Okay. Anybody else? Gary, what's the fear when you market to one type of client? Now, if you didn't know better. If you didn't know better.
What I've done in my practice,
Okay.
is I've always had two areas that I've gone into. So if one area isn't doing well, I have another one to fall back on. And I kind of developed a new practice,
Well, yes.
commercial and the corporate, because of the program that I've been on.
Okay. I used to try to market to everybody. Oh my gosh, it was awful. I was a life coach when I started out. Bring your life to the next level. I want to barf when I hear that language now. Every life coach says the same thing. What does that mean? means nothing. It means, oh gosh, don't get me started. When you figure out who you want to help and you really hone in and say it, they recognize themselves. Okay, so let me give you an example. So I had one client, she was pretty much ideal. I said, oh my gosh, I want 5 of you. She referred her best friend. And they're so much alike, they think alike, they talk alike. I was like, wow, I didn't mean it literally. Okay, so her best friend, she wants to be, she does special needs law. Okay, she does guardianships and she advocates for kids in school, and her thing is I'm the go-to person in my area for that. That is my practice is going to be all about that. So we said, okay, who's your client? Who would her clients be? Special needs attorney. Would they be other attorneys? No. Parents, right? Should she have a lot of legal stuff on her website and fancy big words? No. Do parents care? No. They don't care. Okay, so we did her website and her in-person marketing language all around that parent who's having a hard time sleeping at night. And I say that because it's just pretty literal. It's a cliche, but it's so literal. It's so true. And we talked about her marketing at a deeper level. And her marketing is amazing. She's just pulling in clients. She reached and surpassed this crazy, her ridiculous goal for last quarter. She calls it her ridiculous goal. She reached it and surpassed it a little bit. And is reaching her goal for this quarter, and is speaking about her what she does in a very intense way. Again, she sounds professional. She sounds smart. She's funny. I like funny people. Most of my clients are funny. But she's going into the heart and the mind of the worried parent, and she's talking about the before and the after of when she serves her worried parents. It's really about their kids, but her client who's hiring her is a parent. And we built an incredible website around parents. And if you want to go to it, I have permission to share it with you. It's manislaw.com. Now, there's no manislaw.com. There's not a penny was spent on graphic design. But if you're a worried parent and you read that website, you're going to hire her because it speaks right to you. Every word on that page speaks right to you. Okay, so you talk about the problem. So you talked about the problem. The problem is the kids. The kids are not getting the right services, or maybe, okay, so maybe in the case of my daughter's boyfriend's sister, she's a young adult and she has developmental disabilities, but she comes off looking fine. And she's the kind of person who could get into a situation with some con artist, somebody who might want her to buy a car or do something else financial and get into a terrible financial situation. She'll be responsible unless her parents provide guardianship that's going to protect her. So limited guardianship. And you know more about this than I do. Okay? So it's about her, but the effect on the parents was put in the marketing in a subtle but clear way. So it's there, but it's not, it's an art, there's an art to marketing. We put it in just the right way. The benefit of the benefits is that the child is protected, the young adult is protected, but the other benefit is that the parents have everything set up and they can relax and not worry. Every time they spend time with their kid, oh my gosh, every time I look at my kid, oh my gosh, what else do I need to do? What else do I need to do? What else do I need to do? Okay, so we use language like set it up, protect your child, and then relax and enjoy being with them when you're hanging out with them. That type of language. And we talked about the benefits. We go a little bit deeper. What's the benefit of getting the right educational program for your child? The benefit is that your child is going to like going to school. Your child's going to learn more. We put all these benefits in, and then we put the feelings that the parents might have when they see those benefits. Okay. And this part, I'm just saying that you have to understand that when your clients come to you in certain areas of law, and I think many, they're really worried. They're really scared. When I say they're in a regress state, they may not be their grown-up selves. They may be at a younger age, psychologically in that moment. So you need to be really tender in who you're dealing with. And when you do your marketing, realize that when people are very scared, they're not at their really powerful place. They're in a different place. Market to that place and they're yours. You got them because you get them. You got them because you understand them. Okay, so I said this before, boring. When it's all about you, it's boring. When it's about your client, it's engaging. So once you've developed your marketing message, you analyze them, you develop the message that hits it right in their left brain. You use before language and after language. You put a picture in their mind. You took out the jargon. You stopped talking about yourself and made it all about your client. Okay, now you've got your words. And you can apply those words to all your pieces. Okay.